Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Tatlo lang tayo. Marami na.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
I'm waiting for Miss Market so that she can start accepting you as a co-host.
Oh, sir, may I ask, for the Module 2 discussion boards, if people submitted it late, will it get deductions po?
No, there will not be any. These are supposed to be the giveaway points because the total points for the whole exam is 1,000 points. So since most of you are going to, since the two classes decided no final exam, I don't expect anyone to have more than 80 points, 800 points or more, unless I give you this bonus set. So those only the top first five who replied sa bonus will get extra points, and then the rest, ano na siya. Itong mga discussion na lang. And even if you don't answer your discussion, it's just it's zero. It will not affect really substantially your grade, but it's a way to pull up your grade.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Some of the pages under Module 3 have questions, but they're not graded. Do we still answer them, sir?
What part?
Wait lang. Let me pull up an example, sir. Teka lang, sir. Dito, under the table of taxes, there's like a question sa bottom na, do you think the changes were better for the economy and the taxpayer? But it's not graded. Do we still answer it, sir?
No need. This is your guide to the second paper. Originally, this was supposed to be for your second paper. Notice the train law. The second submission.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, diba ito yun? This is where you can compare the two figures.
So it's more of like guided reflection, sir.
Yes. This one.
Yes, sir.
But now I'm for your STEM, I'm adding the create law so that you have more options. You can create law is basically 30% versus whatever is the proposal. So you can choose from train law or create law, diba? The significant changes.
Yes, sir. Tapos just to clarify, we don't need to create a video submission for the train law / create law paper anymore, but we still need to do one for the first paper we submitted.
Yes. Paper kasi nagsabit na yung iba. But and then the last paper, the 40% you need to do also.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
The Pacquiao one is graded, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Start na, huh? Okay. This is the tax table that I sent the link to. I will update this by within the week for the corporate tax part, the corporate income tax part. But other than that, this um, chart is good enough, and I will keep referring back to this chart. This one, huh? Tax table of the Philippines. Okay. Next issue is we start today discussing income tax. And when we discuss income tax, we will be doing a lot of more computation. So I will allow you to share screen and do your computation via your own whiteboard. Okay. Now, to get companion to the individual income tax is a discussion on employees labor. Okay, these are all in the modules that was presented. Uh, Tax and labor transcript, tax and labor video. These are already summarized here. So I will not repeat most of the uh, uh, most of the lecture. Okay, so I'll concentrate on the computation part. Okay, kaya? For individuals, today that module 3 is about taxation for individuals. When we talk of individuals, there are two kinds of individuals for purposes of taxation. One is pure compensation income earner, and the other one is professionals or business income earners. Any difference? The difference is uh, one deals with the salary people, and the taxation is gross taxation. Then the other one is the business people, which is which has more choices for you to compute from. Okay. And for your purposes, we go back to this chart. This one is the chart that I showed you 2 weeks ago. The various types of taxpayer. The quadrant is a function of two things: the citizenship and your residency. Residency means whether you are domiciled in the Philippines or you are living abroad. If it's a Filipino citizen or an alien, okay. Then you check whether you are within or whether the income is from within or outside of the Philippines. That is why the situs of taxation comes into play. Okay. Now, legally, there's a definition of when one is a resident. Just because you have a green card holder, that you are a green card holder does not make you a U.S. resident. If you are staying in the Philippines for more than 180 days, then you are considered Philippine citizen, a resident. the catch with this is that if you are a citizen like si Maria sa example nung ano, and you return on 2020 to the Philippines after nag-start yung COVID, bumalik ka, even though you came back on 2020 and you stay more than 180 days, the first year that you come back, you are not yet considered a resident. Okay? Now, the taxation for resident non-resident is simple. I already explained this to you last time through the example of Chris Brown. So I will skip this. For your purposes, I will show you first what is the tax before 2017. Before 2017, anyone who earn money in the Philippines is taxable. And that starts with 5%, 10%, etc. Ngayon, ginawa, and then if you're earning over 500,000, you're already taxed 32% of the excess. Okay. So the burden, you notice this tax table is was made in 1997 and was not changed for more than 20 years, not reflecting inflation, to the point that the Philippines has one of the highest tax rates before the change in train law. And what is the common complaint in this tax table? Who does not earn 500,000? And before, you remember, husband and wife compete together. So it's almost like even the minimum wage earners earn 500,000. And then you are paying 32%, which makes us the highest in Southeast Asia. Therefore, the government passed the law called the train law. Okay? Ano nangyari sa train law? Train law now basically remove all the exemptions. Dati mayroon ka pang family, head of the family deduction, number of children deduction, spouses deduction, etc. Ngayon wala na lahat yan. Ang nag-start ka lang is automatically if you're earning over 250,000, 20% ka na. So nawala yung 5%, 10%, 15% na dati. Automatically start with 20, and then the highest is now 35. Okay. But the highest of 35% is based on 8 million. Kanina, sa train law, as a pre-train law, the 1997 NIRC, the highest was 500,000, 32% na. Ngayon, 32% is just 2 million, earning 2 million, but now 8%, for you to pay 35%, 8 million. So labas ng what is the big thing? Now, wala na yung graduated na calibrated from 5%, 10%. Then you go straight to 20%. Number 2 is the highest now is 8 million. Okay? 8 million. So, in my years of practicing, I have not reported an income of more than 8 million in any year. So, that is not likely to happen to me. For those who are earning more than 2 million already, you can start considering to use a corporation, just like what Chris Aquino has done lately. Kaya siya nakaproblema kasi she started with her social media, her attempt to be queen of social media. She formed a corporation, and then the corporation was managed by Falsis. Yes, Mr. Esteban. Yes, annualized to. I will explain how you do that next after this. This is this tax rate is for the whole year. Okay. In addition, by 2017, 23, by then you will be on your 4th year and about to graduate, then this is the tax table that you will follow. So yung 20% magiging 15 na lang. Okay? Etc. Okay. What happens is the government is trading. Oh, yes, Mr. Valencia.
So I just want to clarify, if you do return to the Philippines after having residency elsewhere for a while, how long does it take for you to, do you just have to wait like a whole year and you're back to being a resident of the Philippines, or is there like a process to regain your residency?
No process to regain residency. Like I explained to you, if like what happened to Manny Pacquiao, he came back 2006, I think, because the election was 2007. So in 2006, whatever he earned is still treated as if he's a non-resident. It's only in 2007, when he was already the year after he came back that he was considered a Philippine resident. You understand, Mr. Valencia?
So, sir, you have to wait a year, sir. Is that the general rule?
For the next year.
Okay, for the next year, sir.
Hindi 1 year ang tanggal. So, if you came back December of 2006, by January 1, 2007, you are already taxable as a resident.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, yes, the other one, there's another one who raised his hand. 2 people. Who's the other one? Wala na? Okay. We're done? Anyway, rate for 2023, you just take note of this because by 2023 we will have a new president. So I'm not sure if this will still be followed. But for now, this is what Duterte planned. Yung lowest will now become 15%. Okay. Actually, they should accelerate this year. The past 2 years na medyo may problema sa pandemic. What they're not. Okay. Yes, Mr. Untal.
Sir, I think I was muted earlier. I was confirming lang po na the taxable year always starts every January.
Yes. For a compensation income earner, it's always January.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. For corporation and business enterprises, you have a choice to do fiscal year or calendar year. Like Ateneo uses the fiscal year ending May, which is what done by most schools. At Chiang Kai-shek, I changed it back to calendar year. Because at the end of the fiscal year, people always go on vacation. Your teachers are always abroad. And the admin are always abroad. Wala kang mahahanan na tao. Pero for corporation, you can change to calendar year or fiscal year. But for individual, it is always calendar year for compensation income earners. Okay? Okay. Now, earlier I mentioned that the tax deduction, the first 250,000 of your income is free. Now, and in addition to the 250,000, there is a 13-month bonus not exceeding 90,000. Okay, meaning if I give you a salary, then I give you 90,000 as bonus for that year. That 90,000, if in addition to the 250, makes you is still tax free. So labas ng 340,000 ang maximum na makukuha ng employee na hindi pa siya taxable. Okay? However, the train law removed basic and personal exemption. So now, a person with 1 child is treated the same way as a person with 4 children. Dati, ang biro ko palagi sa estudyante is the government gives your parents 25,000 for you to be fed for the year. Kasi yun ang exemption per person. So kung 4 na anak yan, 100,000 deduction. Ngayon, wala na. Okay? Also, deduction for health insurance, hospital insurance are also removed. Dati pwede yan. because the theory of the government now is universal health care na rin yung PhilHealth. So there's no point to deduct anymore the health premium or health insurance that you separately get. Okay. Now, there's the SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig compulsory deduction are still allowed as exemption. Okay. Clear? Okay, we're moving faster, huh? Okay, so this is the way you compute. Kanina tanong ni Ms. Esteban, what if he's doing it on a monthly basis? Okay, so ito, net income after deducting SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig is 300,000 a month, including a 13-month bonus. So how much will you earn? What do you notice? 3.9 million, di ba? Saan mo nakuha yung 3.9 million? 300,000 times 12. Times 13, sorry. Times 13. Tapos, 13 months, you have to less 13 months of 90,000 kasi the exemption is only up to 90,000, the tax deduction. So, your taxable income is 3,810. What is 3,810? Now you go back to our tax table. 3,810 means over 2 million, but not over 8 million. So it's 490,000 plus 32% of excess of 2 million. Okay? So yan. What is the excess of 2 million of 3.8? 18100. 1.81 million times 32% plus 490. So that is your tax of 1,069,200. Do you understand? Is this clear? Because I'm going to choose a friend now. Last time we ended with pala. We ended with Pelayo, no? So, Ms. Quevada.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay. Are you familiar how to use the whiteboard?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
The whiteboard or Zoom?
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, can I use Sheets? Excel?
Any what?
Can I use Excel po? Or
Yes,
whiteboard?
you can go ahead and use whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm getting from this book. Can you see?
So, do I share na po? I
Ah,
can't share screen po.
you can. Why cannot? I allow I allow participants to share
Sharing
screen.
po.
Ah,
You're still sharing screen po.
adi stop share mo lang ako.
I don't know.
Oh, sige, sige.
So you have this.
There, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So, if you earn, Mr. Aguado, a financial analyst employed in BDO, received a compensation of 100,000 a month. 100,000 a month, inclusive, but the BDO gives a salary of gives a bonus of 3 months. 3 months. So, hindi siya 13 months. May 13 months, 14 months, 15 months pa siya. Okay? Net of mandatory contribution to SSS and PhilHealth. how much is his tax? Annual tax.
Sir, the bonus was 3 months.
3 months. Oh.
Then may 13 months.
Hindi. Kasama na yung 30 months siyempre.
Okay. Answer, yes. Sir, if I hear correctly, 100K a month,
Yes. Plus
then
3 months bonus.
3 months bonus. Dun sa example niyo, sir, we deduct the bonus from the...
No, I did not deduct the bonus. I added the bonus. Then I deducted the allowed exemption. The rest of you try to solve it on your own also.
So I add the bonus, sir.
Yes. Then how do you deduct? What do you deduct here? How much?
What? Sir, sorry ba? Ano pa yung dinadeduct?
Huh? If I
Yung
go
sa
back to my
example
file,
ko,
you will lose your sharing, di ba? Or can we share simultaneously?
I have it, what?
What
13
is it that you're deducting?
The 13 months, sir.
No, not the 13 months, but the government allows an exemption of how much for the 13 months? And bonuses.
90K. 90K.
Hmm.
Oh. Okay. It falls under the bracket of
What's that?
over 800 over 800,000 pesos, but not over 2 million. So tax 100.
Mga ME talaga, sanay mag-computer na. Ayaw na mag-compute ng manual. Dapat pala paggawa ko kayo ng computer program para sa ano, no?
Okay, 130
Para
plus
mag-compute nila.
30% of excess. Yes, sir. 313,000 pesos of tax.
What is the tax percentage?
30 po.
$13.
Yes, sir.
Tapos how much do you add?
I added 130,000.
Bakit iba yung sagot ni Mr. Pacheco? Mr. Pacheco, where did you go wrong? Mr. Pacheco, last. Lagay mo na yung i-ano mo dito yung tax mo. Rate. 800,000. I-type mo dito yung tax rate mo. Dito. In this case, the question given was he earned 100,000 a month and then he received 15 months salary. So the total is 1.5 million. So the amount is 313. Tama. What I want to know is, tama yung answer. The question now is, bakit mali si Mr.? Bakit, saan naka-problema si Mr. Pacheco? Mr. Pacheco? Where are you, Mr. Pacheco?
Yes, sir. I'm searching, sir. Wait lang, sir.
Yeah, okay. Meron akong libro, kayo wala. Okay, Ms. Lee, your question is answered. Okay. Mr. Valencia, what's your problem?
Sir, I just wanna ask, kasi you mentioned na parang there was some you mentioned something about SSS and PhilHealth in the question. Is that
Already deducted.
already deducted?
But
Thank you,
if
sir.
not, then you should deduct.
All right, sir.
In other
Thank
words,
you.
whatever goes to the government as a contribution, your mandatory contribution, is already tax exempt. Dati, allowed pa yung magsobra ka sa PhilHealth or bumili ka sa Caritas, etc. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Tivana.
Yes, sir. I looked at the...
Suntal. Miss Suntal, sorry. Ms. Suntal.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'd like to ask lang po for the 13-month allowable. Do we always deduct 90,000?
No. The next question will be different now.
Okay po, sir.
Okay.
How do we know, sir, how much yung i-deduct?
90,000. Maximum is 90,000. But if you're earning 30,000 lang, then you deduct 30,000.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay na?
Oh, sir. Just to answer your question, I got wrong, sir, because I looked at the 2023 table. So,
Yeah.
wala pa pala.
Advance. Para kang back to the future. Sige.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why in the modules, I did not include that because for other sections, baka magkagulo-gulo siya. I made module 3. I was the one who made module 3. Okay, nasaan na tayo? Next. Kevada, we're done. Ragas.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. A teacher earns 30,000 a month.
Wait, sir, will I share screen na?
Huh?
I'll share screen na.
Yeah. Mataklit kamay ko sa katawag ng ganyan katapal ng libro. Kaya those of you who plan to study accountancy or law, ganyan kahirap yung hawak lang ng libro, sasakit na yung ulo niya.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Mr. Kimura, a Japanese citizen living in Manila with his family, earns 30,000 pesos in the Philippines.
So is it per month or yearly?
Per month. How much will his tax be? If he earns 30,000 a month plus a bonus of 50,000 for 2020. So, walang share screen. Saan yung share screen mo?
I'm sharing na.
Ay, nakatawa talaga yung mga tamad ka. Mga ba? Too high-tech for me. Sige. Magagalit sa'yo si Duterte.
Sir, he gets taxed 72,000.
Hindi. May mali ka. Anong kulang? Anong table ang ginamit mo?
The one that says he gets taxed 20. Oh, wait. Okay. $22,000, sir.
Okay. So, how did you compute the 22,000? Explain to the class. And saan ka nakamali kanina?
Okay, so he earns 30,000 per month. So his income per year is 360,000. And then since he gets a bonus of 50,000 only, which is less than the 90,000 exemption, you only subtract 50,000 from his total. And it ends up as 360,000. And then from that 360,000, you only tax 20% of the excess over 250,000, which is what I got wrong. I forgot to subtract the 250,000. So it ends up as 22,000 in the end.
Okay. Yes? Okay. Now, okay, I give you next issue is Miss kanina about monthly. Miss Lee, did you ask about this monthly? Okay. What happens now to you? Do you pay how as a compensation income earner? How do you pay this 22,000? Do you pay it April 15? What will happen is you will not pay April 15. The government will deduct as you earn. Pay as you earn. So how do you pay as you earn? 22,000 divided by 22,000 divided by 12 is how much?
$1,833.
Okay, 1,833. Yun ang mababawasan sa sweldo mo monthly. So that at the end of the year, whatever you pay is already adjusted. Okay. Get? You understand? Miss Lee, do you get my point? So, minus 30,000 minus 1,833, how much what will happen? Yes, it is withheld by the employer already. Okay, go. Mr. Rano. Mr. Ragas, you minus the 30,000 with 1,833.
Sorry, sir.
You subtract the 30,000 with the tax.
Sorry, sir, I can't hear you properly.
You subtract 30,000 from the tax.
From the tax, sir, minus 30,000.
Deduct. No, not the monthly rate. How much is your monthly salary?
30,000.
Yes. How much is the tax withheld by the employer?
Oh, 1,833.
So how much is your net take-home pay?
28,167.
Yes. So yun ang tinatawag nilang net take-home pay is 28,167. Okay? Yes? Imagine if this were pre-Duterte Day, how much tax will be collected from you already? You'll be paying 90,000 already, almost. Diba? Because the old rate the tax for 300,000 net income was already, assuming walang deduction, would already be 30% ata. 25% or 30%. Okay? You understand? Okay? Now, the employer, if you are a single income earner, is loyal ka dun sa employee mo, then automatically at the end of the year, it will be adjusted to pay your final tax already. That means you don't need to file any income tax return. Your withholding tax certificate is already your income tax return. Understand, Mr. Agas? Okay. Thank you. You can, ano lang. Okay. Then, Miss Camille is asking, is it useless to have bonus of less than or equal to 90,000 because it will be deducted lang? No, it means that if your bonus is 90,000, it is tax-free. It is not deducted from your money. It is deducted for computation of tax purposes. Yan, Mr. Esteban? Are you okay with this explanation or hindi? Diba? Ang point is, if your bonus is more than 90,000, then hindi 90,000 ang bonus mo kasi let's say I put it at 100,000, yung extra 10,000 mo is already taxable by at least 20%. So walang point na. Now, what we have adjusted for our salary scale at Chiang Kai-shek, for example, is okay, salary namin, hindi namin tinataas masyado, but we increase the bonus. So now they have performance bonus twice a year. So if the basic salary of a teacher is 20,000, if you get 2 months bonus plus 13 months, so 3 months yan, 60,000, bonus pa rin yan. Meaning, tax-free pa rin yan. Meaning you don't, you get the full amount. Okay. Anything else? Wala na, ha? Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, if the bonus exceeds 90,000, what is the scale that it becomes taxable? Does it automatically become part of the net taxable income?
Yes. Kaya,
okay, thank you.
Tingnan mo yung computation kanina ni Cevada at ni Ragas. So you add the bonus to the gross income, then you deduct the deduction of 90,000. Okay? So far so good? Are you related
Sir,
to Richard Choco?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, what if the wife is working? Okay. This is a change in the train law also. Now, they are no longer required to file consolidated return. Dati, husband and wife working, consolidate return. Kasi may exemption ka sa anak eh. Kung hindi paghiwalay yung deduction, ang mangyari is the husband claims 4 kids, the wife claims 4 kids. Baka sa statistics natin sa population, 8 kids lang nandun sa pamilya na yan. Pero in reality, 4 lang. But now, it is already simply deducted by, it is simply the wife files separately. As regardless of whether you're married or single, you file separately. Okay? Okay. So when we compute at the beginning of the year, salary is annualized, and the rate computed based on annual salary, as if the salary will be the same from beginning to end. Okay, that is how those of us using the payroll software you do it. So every time there's an adjustment, higher or lower, the projected annual salary will be a running average return, running average salary, then it will be extrapolated. So, like in our case, we have Chiang Kai-shek would have a salary bonus, not bonus, but teachers, summer pay for teachers in May. Diba? So, pag May mo binigay, malaki yung amount ng summer, the computer software will treat it as if it were the salary. It will the weighted average of the salary, running average of the salary will be higher. Even if the rest of the year, hindi ka, so magsusobra siya. Ano mangyayari pag nagsobrang over-deduction ka? Sa December, sosolin ng employer mo lahat sa'yo para mag-zero ka sa iyong withholding tax. Okay? Clear? Is the concept of withholding tax clear? So, at the end of the year, do you need to pay anything? Nothing. That is because your salary already withheld. Okay. So the term kanina na I introduced is take home pay. Take home pay. So what will you notice? If you're earning 20,000 a month, you're practically not going to pay anything anymore. Sa tax, 333 lang. Mas mabigat pa yung SSS and PhilHealth mo. Okay. And this is to the credit of Duterte, this is his innovation, or his this is what he introduced. Okay. Something that since 1997 was not touched was finally amended in 2018. Okay. I'm not a Duterte fan. I did not vote for him and I will not vote for him again. But in terms of tax remedies, tax consequences, he did the country a lot of good rationalizing the tax. Okay. Then you will ask, sir, bakit bawas siya ng bawas ng tax? Hindi ba mas magulo? There are two ideas there. First is if you deduct the tax, what will happen is there will be less, it will be less of a burden to the ordinary folks. So they will have more money to spend. Then it will be equivalent to raising their standard of living. And then number two is, although it's still questionable, the point is that by lowering tax, you are encouraging compliance. You are encouraging people to comply with the tax. Okay. Now, why are we talking of labor in this module? Why module 3? Because there is a provision in the tax law that exempt minimum wage earners. Okay. And minimum wage earners are exempt from income tax, including their holiday pay, overtime pay, night shift differential, hazard pay, etc. But once exceeding the minimum wage, then the full amount is taxable. Example, if I pay you, today's minimum wage is 527. If I pay you 500 peso only, para mabilis lang i-compute, times 30 days, that's 15,000. Okay, the whole 15,000 is tax-free, even if because of overtime pay and night shift differential, overtime pay already I discussed, holiday pay, etc. Your monthly pay is now 25,000. Okay. So even if you earn 25,000, but your daily wage is still below minimum wage or minimum wage at all, then you are tax exempt, even if you earn more than that. But kanina, pinakita natin kung if you're earning 25,000, you're already liable for if you're earning 20,000, you're liable already for 300 peso per ton. So sometimes, what we do is, yung mga workers na gusto mong tanggalin o gusto mong pahirapan is i-promote mo siya. Bigyan mo siya ng bonus. So he will now get 530 instead of 527, yung 3 peso na yan is not going to make him only taxable for 3 peso a day. It is the whole 530 will be computed. Then you look for the tax table rate. Understand? Ay, nako. I forgot to share pala. Ay, nako. Kaya pala wala akong yan. Okay, sige. Ito yung withholding tax at tolls na slide na kanina. Kaya pala sabi ko, walang reaction. Okay. This is what I was mentioning about take home pay. Kaya 20,000, your tax storage 333. But if you are earning minimum wage a day, plus yung mga extra mo, because you work 30 days a week, a year, 30 days a month, your take home pay is 25,000 or 27,000. You will still be tax free. That's why some people at Chiang Kai-shek were questioning, bakit yung teacher, ang salary niya na 27,000, 800 plus ang bawas sa kanya every month. Pero yung school bus driver namin, earning 30 plus thousand, ni isang piso, walang bawas sa tax. Kasi the school bus driver is actually being paid only 527 peso minimum wage a day. Okay. Unlike the teachers are paid 600 plus to 700 a day. Okay. What's the problem? The problem is when you have a school bus, anong oras ka papasok? 6 o'clock, kailangan pumasok ka na. Tapos, uwian namin since we have both English sections, English classes and then afternoon Chinese classes. So, uuwi siya mga 6 o'clock ulit. So, 12 hours ng trabaho niya. Kung 12 hours ng trabaho niya, ang salary niya is 527 for 8 hours. So, kung 12 hours yan, di nasa almost 800 na yan. It's still tax-free. And hindi lang yan doon. Kasi Saturday and Sunday, walang pasok yung teacher. Pero, yung school bus, kailangan pumasok kasi yun na may mga laban sa NCAA, WNCAA, may laban sa Patafa. Kailangan pumasok yung driver para mag-drive. O minsan may lakad ako, kailangan magpasok yung driver. So hatid sundo ako. Even that those will be considered overtime pay, then abot siya ng 30 plus thousand. As in the driver alone earns 30 plus thousand a month. Yeah, ganyan ang buhay. Anyway, I'm showing this slide again to make, kasi kanina hindi pala nakashare. Okay. Okay, minimum wage is 512, but there's a 15 peso allowance per day. Yeah. So, overtime pay is 26,000, sorry, 34,000. Ito yung soldo niya. 34,713 ang nakukuha niya. It's tax exempt completely. Okay. Yes. Yes, 2 people raise their hands. Mr. Valencia.
Sir, just out of curiosity, so is it possible na parang you have it in paper that your monthly pay is 512, but your overtime pay makes it so that it's like above minimum wage, so that you can like tax exempt your employees basically?
Yes, you can actually. You can do that, but the BIR is not stupid. So if last year you're paying him 20,000, 25,000 already, and then this year ginawa mo siyang 34,000 pero ginawa mo siyang minimum wage, hindi siya papayag. Diba?
So the BIR will be like monitoring kung like if
Yes.
it's
The BIR will
okay.
monitor the
Ayun, sir. Thank you.
Yes, also niya. And then they will monitor the employer, not necessarily the employee. So ititingnan niya yung mo. So hindi ka na pwedeng bumaba. And remember that the law has a non-diminution of benefits. So imposible yung last year, 560 ka na, this year, binawasan mo siya. This is not 512, this is 512 plus 15 peso allowance, etc. Okay?
Thank you.
Mr. Gacheco.
Sir, what if you're a minimum wage earner, but then your bonus, let's say, is 100,000? Is it still tax free?
Ano?
Oh, what if you're a minimum wage earner, sir?
Oh.
And then your bonus is, let's say, 100,000 or 120,000. Is it still tax free?
Then no, your bonus is 100,000. Your 90,000 is tax free. Your 10,000 is now taxable by 20, depending on the rate now.
But then, sir, diba, for example, if it's 100,000, then it's excess over 10,000. But then sa tax table, parang if it's lower than 250,
No, you don't compute it that way. You have to compute it based on the whole salary. So
the whole salary.
34,713.6 times 10 months or 12 months. Tapos plus your bonus, less your minimum wage deduction allowance. Then ano yung tax rate mo? Okay. So the tax rate will still be 20% at 34,000. But because you are not you are a minimum wage earner, you are tax exempt. Okay.
So like it's gonna be 20% of the 10,000.
Yes, if you are
Okay.
tracking 20% off.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, this covers only minimum wage. You are earning from one employer, huh? If you are earning multiple employer, kahit na 10 beses ka minimum wage, hindi ka exempt. Diba? Like in my case, no, I'm not. But if I were minimum wage in Ateneo and then I were minimum wage in Chiang Kai-shek, it will still not be tax exempt because I am multiple income earner. Okay. Now, so let's hello. Now, am I making sense? Now, there is a yes.
Can I just clarify? So that
Yeah.
means as long as you have, at this point, as long as you have more than one job, you're not tax exempt.
Yes, you're not tax exempt. So you should use the 250,000 as the exemption. Okay. Now, what if that is the case? I'm going to give you another issue. Just because you are earning below minimum wage doesn't make you entitled to the minimum wage earner exemption, the MWE exemption, unless you are an employer-employee relation. Bakit? So like at Chiang Kai-shek, we have volleyball coach, badminton coach. They are paid around 5,000 per session per program. Sorry. So that means that they are earning around 5 to 10,000 only a month. That is below minimum wage. Okay. What's the problem? They are not our employee. They are contractual employee. They are not our employee. They are contractual. They are our contractual pay on a agreement basis. That's why they are called contractual. In that case, we cannot accept them from minimum wage income. We still have to withhold 10% professional income withholding tax for professionals. Okay, meaning they are not our employees. We are not. They come to us with their skills and we hire them based on that. But we are not employee-employer relationship. We are contractual. So every year we hire them, especially my basketball coach. Dati, ginagawa nila for life yung basketball coach. Nung pumasok ako noong 2013, tinanggal ko lahat yung mga basketball coach na for life. So we ended up hiring Monteverde. Don Monteverde, yung coach ng NU. And we pay him a certain amount, but we withhold 10% tax because they are not employees anymore. Okay? Because if you are an employee, I control how you work, I control your time, etc. If you are contractual, only the end result is what you ask for. I want a winning basketball team. That's all. Bahala ka na, Monteverde, kung paano mo i-train yung mga bata. Diba? Kung gusto mong patakbuhin sila ng around Rizal Memorial every day, I don't mind. Diba? Because my control is only on the output. But if you are an employee, I control based on your time, your work, etc. Okay. Now, some people ask me, sir, is a probationary employee taxable? Yes, a probationary employee is taxable and covered by the mandatory contribution, even if they are probationary. The only difference is they can be terminated for failure to qualify as regular employee.
Sir, question,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Alvin, sir. So what if it's a probationary employee and then his monthly income is 40,000, sir, but then he works only for 6 months? So will he be taxed, sir, or no, sir?
At the time of 40,000, he should be taxed. But if you terminate him after 5 months, then you should refund to him his extra withholding tax.
Would he go to the company, sir, or the BIR for the refund?
No. The company will have to refund.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, I have to be careful with these things because under the Duterte administration, they ended the contractual. Dati, pati labor contracting. Kasi mo yung explain ko sa'yo, like security guard, kami, contractual kami. Janitorial services, contractual. Mga sports training, contractual kami. Dance program namin. So, our dance instructor for Chinese cultural dance is the same dance instructor for St. Jude, for Philippine St. Stephen, for cultural. Kasi ano siya, hindi siya employee namin. Hindi namin pwede siyang exclusive. Now, ang difference is what Duterte kept saying na endo, no endo is labor-only contracting is prohibited. Prohibited, meaning you cannot just hire people because they are on workers through an agency just for the purpose of making them contractual. Okay. Ano ginagawa dati ni SM? Si SM, ang pinaka-abusado dito dati. Di ba, yung mga kahera nila, yung mga sales lady nila, promoter nila, every 5 months, tina-terminate nila. Never na-regularize yan. Diba? Yun ang endo na sinasabi ni Duterte at ni ano. So now, that is prohibited. And how do you make sure that, DO 174, this is the Duterte promulgation. You can only hire contractuals if they have the skills or specialized skills that is needed. Or you do it through an organization, yun ang agency nila, yung sinasabi nila agency dati. You do it through an agency with a capitalization of at least 5 million. 5 million. And then the contractual employee, the contractor's employees are not functioning for work that are done by regular employees. Like we cannot subcon to if we are hiring a janitorial service, then we need to we cannot hire our own janitors. Yun ang point. Okay. Then if we terminate our janitorial service with an agency, like what I did when I came in, I terminated our agency with a certain avion. The employees are not terminated from work, but they are returned to avion as the agency. Then avion as the agency will have to deploy them elsewhere. Okay. That's why what we are doing now is our security agency, MVP Manila, is also the security agency of St. Stephen Uno High School and Hope Christian, I think. So yung area na yan, apat yung kliyente niya. Pag tinanggal namin yung isa, pwede siyang hindi siya tanggal sa hindi siya walang trabaho. He still has work, and his work will just be transferred to another client of MVP. Same with our janitor. Our janitor is the same company as Philippine Cultural and St. Stephen. So pag ayaw namin sa work nila, tanggal namin, hindi siya tanggal sa trabaho kasi pwede nang ilipat naman ng agency sa cultural or sa St. Stephen. Yes, Mr. Michael said something.
Hello, sir. Just more clarification on that point. So what if instead of you terminating the contract with that specific janitor, it was the agency who terminated that contract? What happens to that person? Does he get from all the other like contracts that he has with other schools? Does he also is it automatically terminated at that point?
No, if he's no longer working for that agency, like wala na yung guard sa MVP, then hindi siya ma-deploy sa amin kasi ang contract namin, ang kausap namin si MVP. Si MVP ang magpapadala ng sa amin.
So sir, at that point, like if the agency terminates his job, then he technically that's the point where he has no job now.
Yes, yes. And then the agency has to pay him his whatever is due him.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Gocheco.
Sir, you mentioned sir na contractualization is prohibited, sir.
Labor only contracting. Sabi ko, labor only contracting.
Okay. Can you explain again, sir, what's the like difference? Like
Okay.
what jobs are allowed to be contractualized and what aren't, sir?
There, two things. First, here. You have to differentiate labor contracting versus job contracting. Kaya kanina, sabi ko, diba? Dalawa yan. Yung coach na hinay ko, kung kailangan niya pumasok na every day at certain time and then do ministerial work and then I control whatever he does, then I'm getting his labor. Okay? Now, if I hire that coach and I only tell him what is my end goal, I want our WNCAA team to be the next to compete in the Final Four of WNCAA, our women's team. Or I want our track and field to win 5 medals. Oh yeah, bahala ka na kung paano mo train. So our swimming team is famous, I think, before. I'm not sure now with the pandemic, but before pandemic, our swimming team was famous, and many of them got to Ateneo on varsity scholarship. But we never have a swimming pool at all at Chiangkai-shek. Mayroon kami kanal, wala kaming pool. Mayroon din akong fish pond, pero wala akong pool. Pero what happened is we subcon it to before to the time we subcon it to the to YMCA downtown sa may Gandara. Okay, yung training, so even the pool, okay, the coach, okay. So we pay the coach. Job contracting yan, valid yan. Okay. Ang nag-catch mo, Mr. Gocheco, or different? Labor contracting is prohibited. You are getting the person only. But job contracting is allowed. So, ano mga job contracting? Sabi ko sa'yo, security guard. Ganyan, yung mga specialized trainers. Our music teachers. We have a music center. Our music teachers. Our language trainers for our language centers. Yung mga IETLS, whatever whatever L you have test. And then even our janitorial services completely outsourced. Lahat ng janitor ng buong school yung naglilinis. Kasi my definition of our job is we are in the business of educating students. We are not in the business of cleaning the school. So the cleaning of the school part, I hire someone else to do it. So I hire an agency. Okay, kailangan ko malinis yung CR, kailangan walang amoy. Kailangan yung drainage, lahat linis. Lahat ng sahig, walang dirt. Lahat ng classroom, everyday at kailangan malinis yung bago pumasok yung estudyante, pagkatapos pumasok yung estudyante. Okay? That is job contracting. Now, if yung dati ginagawa ng SM, yung cashier, di ba yung tawag nila, anong tawag nila dun sa nakakulat ng pera? Di ba cashier?
Yeah, cashier.
O promo merchandiser. Alam niyo yung nagbebenta ng yung mga sales lady nila. Di ba? So they hire from an agency, the agency send people. And then every 5 months, terminate nila. Okay. Next question. Is that part of their business or not?
Yes, sir. Because it's like your main line.
That is part of their trade and necessary for the trade and business of the company, di ba? In that case, you cannot subcon it out because you are hiring only labor. Okay. Now, there are some people, yung packaging, di ba? I know some malls na yung kahera hindi. Pero yung taga-baggers, o baggers pa tawag yung nagtatali ng mga binili mong lalo na sa mga SNR, sa Rustang, yung mga pag bumili ka ng isang buong truckload ng groceries nyo bago mag-MECQ or mag-ECQ, yung mag-push ng mag-push ng trolley nyo. Those, I know people who subcontracting out. Okay? So yun ang inaano ko lang na you do not have to, it's not exactly what to be contracting. You just need to see whether you are job contracting or labor contracting. Work contracting is okay. That is you contract based on output, okay lang. But if you contract based on just to hire a worker, then that is not valid. Okay? Clear? Okay, kaya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And why is this part of the negotiation? Because why is that part of the discussion? Rather, not the negotiation. Discussion is because a contractual is not subject to the rules that I mentioned. The contractual is subject to automatic 10%. So yung coach na sinayang namin for kina Monteverde dati. Ngayon, wala na si Monteverde. Pero dati, si Monteverde or si Mr. C, I forgot his other name, yung sa YMCA. I would pay him, let's say, 10,000. Even if the 10,000 is below minimum wage, 10,000 a month, I still have to withhold 10% tax. Okay? Because he is not an employee. Now, there are other things that we discussed kanina, like overtime pay. 8 hours a day ang maximum work sa business. Kaya yung driver ng Chiang Kai-shek is 8 hours a day lang. Kasi he's doing business. We are a business. Now, if your family driver, however, you don't need to follow the 8-hour workday kasi para siyang kasambahay. Huwag mo lang pagawan ng company-related work. Like our president before had her own driver. Her driver works 12 hours. I'm sorry if I keep turning because I'm having my graduation at Chiang Kai-shek. They're messaging me to look at the camera for their anyway. So if you hire your family driver and then the driver drives you to work and then drives you back from work and then in between may mga errands ka sa kanya na personal, then that the worker can work 12 hours without being paid overtime. Okay? Then meal hour of 1 hour. O yan, basahin nyo na lang. Okay, basahin nyo na lang. Masakit na yung lalamunan ko. I think lubyak na yan. Nakadalawang tao lang ang tao. Minimum rest time, meal time, rest time of less than 60 minutes are compensable. Waiting time is part of the work is compensable. So, pinapunta ka sa yung employer mo, like SGB is auditing Chiang Kai-shek. So, pinapunta ka ng SGB sa Chiang Kai-shek. Even though you're supposed to work in Makati, then that travel time from your house to Chiang Kai-shek is compensable. Kasi you probably stay in Makati just to be work near SGB. Broken time is allowed and not compensable is employees are allowed to leave. This is what we have done for some of the restaurants, especially this pandemic. Ang restaurant, you open at 10 o'clock, then you close at 10 o'clock. So 12 hours yan. But in between, walang kakain sa'yo ng mga 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Diba? In fact, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, halos walang kakain yan. Then you can actually let them go. They are allowed to go out of the work. Okay. What's the problem with this pandemic? Some clients are complaining that if they go out and then they come back, what if may nakakahalubilo sila na positive? Diba? So sabi ko, if that is the case and you don't allow them to go out, then that becomes compensable work hours. Okay. Weekly day off is of 24 hours after every 6 days of work. This is another thing about the drivers that we have help clients with. Dati, ang akala nila, every Sunday is work day. Diba? Sometimes yung mga, especially food delivery, Monday ang walang negosyo. Ang maraming negosyo is yung weekend. So pag pumasok siya ng Sunday, may double work ba? Hindi. You only pay them holiday, rest day pay only if they have 7 days consecutively. So how do you solve the problem? You give them day off in the middle of the week. Yan ang ginawa ng BDO. They were the first bank to successfully open on weekend. Kaya yung mga malls, lahat may BDO na nakabukas. Kasi they give their employees day off weekdays. So may certain malls na Monday yata or Wednesday. I cannot remember the date, but some malls, Monday or Wednesday ang walang pasok. Kasi yan ang pinakamahinang araw nila. Okay? So if your color coding is Friday, is Wednesday, huwag mo papasukin siya ng Wednesday para wala ka rin siyang trabaho. Wala ka rin babayaran overtime pay pag pinapasok mo siya ng Sunday. Okay? Today it's 537 na. Okay. But if you are a retail establishment employing less than 15 people, so yung mga restaurants na less than 15, if you are manufacturing of less than 10, small scale, if you have hospital with 100 or less bed, you only need to pay 500 peso. Yun yung minimum wage sa National Capital Region. So yun ang inaano ko sa mga tao, you pay at least the 500. Especially yung mga nasa 168, they're paying 300 peso, 350 peso. and then they feed them lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tapos kina-compute nila, 50 peso bawat kain, 150 na. So plus mo sa 350, di 500 na. Tapos mayroon pa daw bed and lodging. Sabi ko, no, you don't do that. What you do is you just pay them the 500 pesos if you are just employing less than 10 people, 15 people. Now, the employment of 10 people includes the owners, huh? Includes the owner, okay? So, wag mo kalimutan na mayroon nandiyan ka sa computation of overtime pay is 25% of basic on top of the regular rate. And managerial employees are excluded. Okay. Yes. Ano dito? What is legal? What are you asking, Mr. Goseco?
The one where you give them 350 pesos only and then charge them like 50 pesos per meal.
No, you cannot. What you do is what I've done, yung kliyente ko yung mga Chinaman na nag-open ng mga shabu-shabu, hindi shabu-shabu, ng mga ramen houses, noodle houses. I tell them, you pay them 500 peso minimum wage. Then if they choose to eat, every time they eat, you tell them, okay, gusto mong kumain sa kumpanya or lumabas kumain. If you want kumain ka sa kumpanya, you charge them 50 peso or 30 peso. That is their choice. So kumbaga, consumer rin sila na bumili ng kain sa iyo. Hindi mo pwede mandatory na kailangan kumain ka sa akin, tapos 300 peso lang babayaran ko. Kaya maraming nahuli. Maraming natulpo doon eh. That's why the whole Lanzo ramen chain was closed.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. What is this, Ms. Reyes? What is the what if service company? Yes, if you are a service company, not retail, kasi Jollibee is considered a service company, So if you are a let's say programming company, or you are a you are let's say cleaning company, then or disinfecting company, then you are still you are liable to pay 537 kasi wala ka dun sa exemption. Okay. There's another exemption which I did not mention. That is if you are suffering losses. Who are not covered by overtime pay? Government employees, managerial employees and managerial staff. Okay. Household helpers and person in personal service, yung mga drivers. Okay. Workers paid by result. Okay. Field personnel. Okay. Generally, you cannot have overtime pay without prior permission unless the work performance necessary. Diba? Eh, timahati naman ng kitlat nyo, yung factory nyo, kailangan nyo bakit nyo sasabihin hindi mo babayaran kasi wala siyang file ng overtime pay, wala siyang overtime requisition. Diba? The work benefited the employer. Diba? Or the employee could not abandon his work at the end of normal working hours because there was no replacement. Next issue is holiday pay. Okay. Ito yung holiday pay na kailangan mo i-distinguish regular and special. Okay. For those who need who have classes, you can leave ahead. Okay. I'll just finish this labor para by Thursday, diretso na ako sa business person earning business. This is module 3. Then next week, module 4 na tayo. Okay. Now, there are two kinds of may naka-blue, may naka-yellow, may naka naka-yellow color, maka-blue. Regular holidays are holidays that are paid regardless of whether work or not. And then if you come in, you are paid again another 100%. Yellow ones are special holidays. Special holidays means you come in, you don't come in, no work, no pay. If you come in, you are paid 130%. Okay. And these are the rules I'm showing you so that when you watch the video, you can always stop it at any time. Employees are not entitled to absent or leave without pay on the preceding workday. Okay. That is one of the contentious issues lately. Kasi ginagawa ng mga tao, let's say Monday is a holiday, Friday hindi na sila pumapasok para diretso probinsya na sila. Ang ginagawa namin is pag hindi ka pumasok ng Friday, yung Monday, kahit holiday pay, wala kang makukuha. Okay? Night shift differential is 10% additional if you work 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Kaya yung mga call center, huwag kayong masaya na mas malaking pay nyo kasi talagang may night shift differential naman kayo. Okay. Another Duterte law change is the service charge. People are asking me many times now. Service charge are now distributed to rank and file employees 100%. Dati may 15-85% sharing. Okay. Now, that is only if you are charging service charge. Now, bonuses, as a matter of right, it is not something you can demand. You can only demand 13 months unless it ripens to a long-standing practice. More than 3 years na every year, like yung BDO, 15 months ang soldo niya. Okay. I'll end here. Or if any of you want to leave, just go ahead. I'll finish this na lang. Konti na lang. Here. This is another Duterte, that although I don't agree with this, but since I'm not going to give a birth soon, although my family has been pregnant for 5 months since 20 years ago, I am not giving birth anytime soon, so I'm not going to enjoy this. But previously, 60 days ang maternity leave. Now it's 105 days. Okay? Tapos if solo parents pa, additional 15 days. So 120 days na yan. Okay? Tapos, the pay now is based on your actual salary. Then SSS credit versus actual salary. For those who want to know more, you can just ask me after the class. Then now there's a paternity leave. Yes. 7 days for being a father of your wife, son. If it's your girlfriend, sorry na lang. Then there's a solo parent leave pa, 7 days. Then there's a 10-day leave for victim of violence of women. And then retirement pay. So all of these are benefits that are not taxable but required, mandatory. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? So we're done with minimum wage individual income earner, huh? Any questions? I will stop now.
Sir, I have a question regarding the deadline of paper 3 po.
Yeah.
When is it po?
Paper 3 is due on the week of the on the time schedule for our finals.
All right po. Thank you, sir.
So, pili na kayo kung ano yung ano, then let Miss Marquez or the Bidal, whoever is the Bidal, tell us ano yung ano nyo, ano yung decision nyo. Whether you want the estate, the computation of property tax, or you want to do the tax audit, it's up to you. You have to let me know lang ahead of time. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Sir, question.
Yeah.
Sir, you mentioned a while ago that the income taxes, like, they benefit the poor, right? Because parang you really tax more on the people with more money because you don't get taxed if you don't earn more than 250K a year. But then, like, the trade law also gives like a bunch of excise taxes for things like tobacco and sugar products. So wouldn't that like sort of counteract also like the benefit to people with lower wages?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
Excise tax early on, di ba? Excise tax is a consumption tax. It is part of the governmental function for public health that they are imposing excise tax. So, like sugar, bakit ka na i-impose? It's not because you don't want everyone in Juan de la Cruz to drink soft drinks. You are discouraging them from drinking soft drinks completely, because every time they drink soft drinks, their risk of having diabetes and kidney failure is higher. Why are you taxing their cigarettes? Because you tell them you're poor, you should not be smoking. You should use your money to go to buy food from Jollibee and then bring home to your son, rather than buy one bottle of Ginebra or one pack of Marlboro. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
That is the logic. That's why that increase is on excise tax, meaning excise tax is part of your police power to regulate the usage.
Okay, but so like it's like logically it makes sense, right? But then normally what ends up happening is that people just end up still buying it. They end up like paying the excise tax then to buy it.
Yeah,
But,
your control of your you lack control of your own desire. Diba? The point of is to increase the tax on cigarette para hindi ka na manigarilyo. Diba? Or kung manigarilyo man, yung mga occasion lang, hindi yung isang pack, isang araw.
okay, thank you, sir.
Even with the vanity tax, the Vicky Bello tax, diba? If you are doing it for medical purposes, that is tax-free. But if your vanity, you gusto mong magkaroon ng braces para mapantay yung ano mo, gusto mong magpa-botox para hindi ka maraming ano tawag doon? Kulangot? Oh, no, not kulangot. Kulubot. And then that is your, you have to pay for that. Those taxes now will compensate for whatever is lost through the income tax reduction. Okay. Any other questions? Is there a group that will see me after class? Wala, no? Okay. So I'll end here, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Cocheca, you have a question?
Oh yeah. If ever my group could have a consultation, sir.
After this or in this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, after this.
Okay. So those of you who will, please leave, go ahead and leave. Then I will talk to Mr. Cocheca na and his company, his group. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
For those questions who want to consult something, you can stay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Yes, Mr. Pacheco.
Yes, sir. So, you, okay. So, yeah, Joanna can go first naman, sir.